A federal judge ruling that former President Donald Trump likely committed felony obstruction in his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. In a new ruling, U.S. District Judge David Carter wrote, based on the evidence, the court finds it more likely than not that President Trump corruptly attempted to obstruct the joint session of Congress on January 6, 2021.
The ruling came in a civil case involving Mr. Trump's lawyer, John Eastman. He's the one who wrote several legal memos aimed at blocking Joe Biden's victory.
The illegality of the plan was obvious. Our nation was founded on the peaceful transition of power, epitomized by George Washington laying down his sword to make way for democratic elections. Ignoring this history, President Trump vigorously campaigned for the vice president to single-handedly determine the results of the election.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and seeing that subhuman orange mucus don an orange jumpsuit would be the greatest event in recent history for American democracy. Unless you're wearing a pair of Ivanka Trump made-in-China blinders, any moron can see he's clearly guilty of inciting an insurrection. If any ordinary citizen had performed those same acts that day, they would have been sitting in federal penitentiary within minutes. But because it's all politics, evidently that gives a free pass to commit any crimes, perform any violent action, and of course abuse political office, even to the extent of ruining the entire foundation of America.
Judge Carter, who reviewed Eastman's documents in private, found several memos he deemed incriminating. One of them, a draft email written for then Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani, forwarded to Eastman, that recommended Vice President Pence reject electors from contested states on January 6th. Judge Carter writing, the draft memo pushed a strategy that knowingly violated the Electoral Count Act.
That's a very dangerous precedent. We have an entire Republican Party warmly embracing fascism because they see there are no political consequences. People are too stupid to comprehend the ramifications of willingly handing their democracy over, let alone to a complete imbecile and foul player to the extreme.
If the country does not commit to investigating and pursuing accountability for those responsible, the court fears January 6th will repeat itself. This all comes as the January 6th committee is set to meet to seek contempt charges against two top Trump aides, former White House advisor Peter Navarro and former Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino. Neither has cooperated with the committee's investigation.
The presidency is no longer something to aspire towards, to selflessly lead the nation in servant leadership, but instead a get-out-of-jail-free card for criminals, grifters, and abusers who simply want to get their hands on the public money and manipulate things to petty personal advantage. They've seen it done. They see that it is celebrated on that side of the aisle instead of punished, and they know if Donald Trump can fool the populace, anybody can with literally any argument or simply no argument at all. And that's basically what this judge is saying. The Justice Department knows all of this. Any real judge can see it's an open and shut case. Every thinking human being saw on January 6th in real time the violent attempt to overthrow the peaceful transition of power and the inciting of violence to pressure the vice president to seize the electoral system and proclaim a king against the will of democracy. And then all of that aftermath, when a gang of knuckle-dragging apes and degenerates crawled all over the Capitol building. The president refused to take any action to call anything off. Then he goes on TV and proclaims his love for all of them after people died and reinforced again the big lie. It's the greatest disgrace in the history of this country, bar none. What we need is real Americans to step up. We need a prosecutor that isn't afraid of politics because they recognize that this went way beyond politics a long time ago. We need a prosecutor that understands a crime when they see one and the American rule of law that proclaims no person is above the law. That must be enforced to remain true. And which party is it that's soft on crime? Yeah, we know. And we need regular citizens to step up and realize this isn't politics as normal. We need those that have the brains to realize democracy could fail, and for no other reason than stupidity. It's ridiculous. Our military is literally invincible. No nation is going to invade and take the one thing that keeps us free, our democracy. But are we that stupid, so greedy that we would destroy our own democracy from within? Certainly the Republican side of the aisle has stood up and shouted yes, very loud and clear to that answer. These morons on the right say they're so worried about the political elite taking rule over them, but they're so stupid that they don't realize that they are the very ones handing rule over to the most brazen political elite to ever abuse the powers of office. You can't get any dumber than that. This is why the next elections are going to be crucial turning points, and I know that slogan has been abused over the years, but look, I wasn't even involved in politics in the least before all this insanity broke out. And let me tell you, as somebody who understands a little something about leadership and about the value of American democracy, this is no joke. The game changed after January the 6th, and until Trump and those colluders see justice for their insurrection and their Republican fascist movement is squashed, this is an all-out red alert. We've got to organize and get to the polls in droves and wipe these criminals out with our own voices if prosecutors don't have the gall to do it themselves. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.